Hey everybody, it's Kim and we are back for another monthly wrap-up video. April has been crazy. I don't know about y'all, but April's been nuts. And that's probably why it went by really fast. I feel like I just did the March video, but apparently it's been a month. So if this is how the rest of the year is gonna go, then okay, then we're in trouble because it went by really fast. I don't know. Okay, well, okay, all right. I guess being in Italy had something to do with it. Okay, fine. Being in Italy actually had something to do with it. The trip was awesome. Oh my gosh. We did Rome, Florence, and Venice. And oh my gosh, it was my first time ever in Europe. And it was amazing. Okay, it was amazing. I saw so many Michelangelos, Raphaels. I even saw a Da Vinci painting. Oh my gosh, some Rembrandts, some Peter Paul Rubens. It was wonderful. It was wonderful. I loved it. Now, see, now I'm addicted to traveling in Europe because if everything is like Italy, well then maybe we should just all go there. We should just plan like a Jessica's Reading Room Europe trip and just kind of tour. We could do that, right? Note to self, plan Jessica's Reading Room Europe trip. Okay, now down to business, since this is an actual my gosh, this is the tone. This is gonna be the tone for the whole video. It's Kim who can't talk. Oh my gosh. Anyway, down to business, since this is a book page and this is a monthly wrap-up video, let's get into what I read in the month of April. Now, you have to remember that I was traveling. So as long as you keep that in your mind, you might still be impressed. You know, okay, so I read these books. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 books in the month of April. Now, I have to say, I'm relatively impressed with myself because that's a big deal. I mean, there was, I can't even calculate how much travel time there was because we did planes and we did trains. We took trains from city to city. And strangely enough, I had a hard time reading on the trains. Like because I can't read while driving. I mean, I can't, well, you're not supposed to read while driving, but I cannot read in the car because I get car sick really bad. And so being on the train, do you get car sick on a train? You get train sick? Railway sick? I don't know. Somebody should look that up and let me know. If you know that, say something in the comments, because there you go. Anyway, so I did do some reading on the train. I did a lot of reading on the plane, especially on the way back because there were a lot of screaming children. So no sleeping for Kim on the plane. Okay. So let's go ahead and get into what I read in the month of April. Now, I started there's another thing I don't know. I read these 2 books, okay? The Monstrous series, Volume 1, Volume 2, and Volume 3 comes out in a couple of months. And I realize these are considered graphic novels, right? But are they anime? I still don't understand the difference between anime and graphic novels and comics. I have a friend who explained it because comics are like periodicals, but can graphic novels still be anime? I don't know. Okay, I don't know. Again, there's something else you can tell me in the comments. You'd think that with all this reading I would know more than I do, but apparently I don't, so I'm strangely okay with that. I'll just keep reading until I learn everything. Alright, so anyway, I read Monstrous Volume 1, Awakening, and Volume 2, The Blood. I have to admit, these were really good. Like, when I first saw them and I opened them up, I was like, oh, okay, those are dark, but they're really good. For somebody like me who likes dark, I really enjoyed these. It's been a long time since I read it. That was at the beginning of the month. So unfortunately, I'm going to end up having to like reread them when the 3rd one comes out. Basically, we've got a world where there are warring factions, and yet there's one faction that has this weapon that supposedly was set off once, but then nobody actually knew what the weapon was, and now everyone's thinking this girl is the weapon. And one faction, they're more animal than they are human, and the other faction, you've got the witches. And oh man, it's so sad. I'm gonna have to reread these because I don't remember all the details. Dang, I'm such a bad reader. This month, you cannot judge me based on this month because apparently I did not do very well this month. But the artwork was gorgeous. I can't wait for the third one to come out, and I'll get to read them again. So once I read the entire series, I'll make a point to actually remember more details, and we can talk more about it. Deal? Deal. Okay. All right. So then I read The Secret of the Sevens by Lynn Lindquist. Love this book so much. Okay. I got this book for Christmas about 3 years ago, I think it was. My mom got it for me because I saw it, I was interested in it, put it on my Christmas list. She got it for me, read it, and became addicted. This is one of those books where you can read it over and over and over and over again and still find things that you didn't find when you read it the last time. Basically, at a private school that was founded for underprivileged kids who are mainly in the foster system, who have been taken from their parents, etc., etc. The founder of this school supposedly had a big stash of gold. He had a secret society called the Sevens. Supposedly, the Sevens turned on him, killed him, and stole the money. Well, then all of a sudden, you've got this new guy coming in who is the new president of the board of this school. He wants to sell the school, completely ignoring what the founder wanted for this school. And then all of a sudden, this Society of Sevens is being reinstituted. And so you find out what actually happened that night. Where is the gold? Who are the Sevens? And it's really good, and I really, really liked it. There is a little bit of language. It's not horrible, but probably save this for older teens. And because it's a little on the complicated side. So probably not younger teens, just because you've got to, actually get into the details of it. But still an amazing book. 5 stars. Love it. Okay. All right. Then I read... Okay, so I know I said that Gunslinger Girl is the prettiest cover of the year, but this one might give it a run for its money, okay? We have Ink by Alice Broadway. I mean, look, it shines. And then look at the end papers. Okay, so there's the end papers. And then look. Oh my gosh, I love this cover so much. I'm not going to lie to you. This is another one that I saw the cover, and the cover drew me in, and then I was like, Ink, what? I love ink. I have tattoos. Let's see what this is about. And then I read the description, and it sounded really cool, and I was like, okay, all right. Ivan was offering to buy me books for my birthday, so I picked it up and I said, here, I want this one. He said, okay, I'll buy it for you. And wow, honestly, just staring. I don't think you even need to read this book. I mean, yes, read it, but you could just sit there and stare at it. Isn't it beautiful? Oh my gosh. Anyway, okay, let me make sure I have my character names correctly because you know me, all right? Okay, so this is a world where basically you've got everyone decorates themselves with tattoos. You tell your story, your entire life story in tattoos. Who you are is in your tattoos. And then when you die, your skin is removed from your body and is preserved in these books that are then left to your children, whoever your surviving relatives are, and they hold on to you. So in a sense, because they have your story in the tattoos on your skin, they are then keeping you, kinda, and then there are a group of people who refuse to tattoo their skin and they're outcasts. And the main character, Leora, is trying to figure out what to do with her life, what tattoos to get. She loves, she loves drawing. She's always wanted to be an actual tattooist. Actually inking people, but that very rarely goes to women. But then there's this big conspiracy because her father died, but then all of a sudden these big questions come up about her father, who he was, etc., etc. And it's actually really good. I actually really liked it. And the second book is out, but the second book I can only find in paperback. And that's driving me crazy because I want it in hardback to match this one. I don't think it would be nearly as pretty in paperback. So, I don't know. But I'm very excited to get the second book and read it because this one was really good. And the cover's amazing. So I don't know. We're gonna end up having to have like a poll at the end of the year for which cover wins out for prettiest cover this year, because now we have got a lot of really good ones to choose from. All right, then another beautiful cover. Not quite as pretty as that one, but still close. Okay, we have The Wicked Deep by Shea Ernshaw. I saw this one on kind of scattered on BookTube and on Epic Reads, and I think I even saw it on Goodreads once. But I saw it. The cover's gorgeous. I mean, look. Isn't that beautiful? Oh my gosh. Anyway, saw it, loved the cover, so I picked it up and I read it. Or I read the description and I said, you know what? Okay, we'll make this my second birthday book. Score! So I picked it up, I read it, read this while in Italy, and it was actually really, really good. Okay, character names, make sure I don't actually tell you wrong. Okay, so in the town of Sparrow, is it Oregon or Washington? Dang it. See, this is awful. Okay, I don't remember. The town of Sparrow is either in Oregon or Washington. I can't remember which one. Okay, so I'm very sorry. Please forgive me, Ms. Earnshaw. I'm so sorry. Okay, anyway, so the town of Sparrow has been cursed because 200 years before, 3 girls were drowned because everyone thought they were witches. Well, and the curse is that every year during the summer solstice, they come back and they end up drowning boys from the town to take revenge on the town. So you've got, so every summer, all the teenagers decide to, one more thing I forgot. In order for the sisters to come back, they inhabit the bodies of girls who live in the town of Sparrow. And then through those girls, they end up drawing boys out to the sea and they drown them to take revenge for themselves being drowned centuries ago. Nobody knows who the girls are that they choose. Every year it becomes a mystery, but yet boys are always coming up dead. And Penny Talbot, who lives out on one of the islands surrounding Sparrow, gets involved in this, and you find out how they're going to possibly break the curse, and then a boy shows up, and it's really good. I have to admit, it was better than I was expecting. I mean, there was a little teenage drama, but not anything horrible. I really liked it. It was really good, and the cover's adorable. There you go. All right, then. Okay, all right, fine. I'll say it again. Whatever I lacked in quantity, this month I made up for in quality. I read The Historian by Elizabeth Kostova. Best book ever. Okay? Ever. It doesn't matter. I don't care what book. I don't care what book you bring me. This one is going to win out. I love this book so much. This is one of those books that gets stuck in your brain and you read it, and then as soon as you're done with it, you want to start it all over again because it's that kind of book. This is my go-to book for giving gifts. I gave one to my mother-in-law. She loved it. I gave one to my mom. My mom kind of liked it. I mean, I have friends who own this book. I mean, I found it when I was back in college. It was in the bargain section of Barnes & Noble. I picked it up, and the very beginning, there's a note to the reader where the main character is kind of explaining what this book is about. And as I read it for the first time, I was sitting there going, okay, wait, who is it that's writing this? Oh my gosh, is this real? Wait a minute, does the author not know that she's writing fiction? What is going on? And then I read it, and oh my gosh, it blew my mind. So I read it every year. I've read it every year since my junior year of college, and I love it so much. And I just recently went to a book signing with Elizabeth Kostova. There are pictures of that, so feel free to go back and look for them. But this, honestly, is the greatest book ever. If you have not read The Historian, you need to just finish what you're reading, and then you need to go get this book and you need to read it, okay? This is one of those like 5 stars. I wouldn't change a thing at all. Basically, it is the historical take on Count Dracula. Looking at him in a historical sense, looking at Vlad the Impaler, and then kind of throwing in the character that he became under Bram Stoker as a vampire and the possibility that he is still alive and walking amongst us. And, you know, finding these little books, they're leather-bound books, filled with empty vellum, except for in the very center of the book, there's a woodcut of a dragon, and learning who Dracula was, and chasing him, and oh my gosh. Love this book so much. Honestly, you need to read this book. I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you like history or not. You need to read this book. That's it. Got it? Okay. All right. Then just last night, since today is the last day of April, April 30th. I doubt that's when we'll post it, but today is April 30th. Last night I finished Not a Drop to Drink by Mindy McGinnis. Now, I've done several Mindy McGinnis reviews, both this year and last year. Love her so much. Okay, she wrote Madness So Discreet, This Darkness Mine, and then she's got another series that she just came out with, and I'm waiting until all the books come out before I actually read it. This one is part of a series. I believe, if I'm understanding this correctly, this was actually the first book that she wrote, which means if you have not read Mindy McGinnis, you need to read this book first. Because sadly, as much as I hate to say it, sadly, this is not as strong as her later work, but it's also not bad. I'm not going to say this was a bad book. It's just not as good as her later stuff. So if you have not read Mindy McGinnis, start with this one, okay? And then you can go to A Madness So Discreet and This Darkness Mine, and then you'll love it. It's just reading her later stuff, which was so good and so strongly written. Coming back to this, you just kind of go, oh, really? This is Mindy McGinnis? Really? Oh, it's her first book. Okay, I get it. All right. She's like the mistress of dark fiction, but like not dark as in like boom, dark. It's like turn the light out. Oh my gosh, dark. It's very subtle. And she does that American Horror Story thing where you delve into what mankind could be, and you know that evil and darkness that we all could have inside of us. You know, not everyone is capable of going out and just shooting someone, but yet there are subtle evil deeds that we are all capable of doing, and she likes getting into that, and it's the philosophy of it, and I do love. She is up there as one of my favorite authors. I love Mindy McGinnis. Anyway, so this book, Not a Drop to Drink, is in a, I don't want to say post-apocalyptic. I don't even know if it's necessarily dystopian. It's just in the future, and water has become scarce and a very precious commodity. And Lynn and her mother have a house right next to a lake, and they will do anything they can to defend it. Lynn has been shooting people from the roof of their house since she was 9. And so, again, we're getting into that darkness that, well, you know, of course she's shooting people to protect her property. Who wouldn't? Oh, but she's only 9. Yeah, but if your family needed it, wouldn't you do the same thing? And kind of exploring that. And I did like this book. I mean, it was a little slow. This is not like boom action movie. It's, you know, it is slightly slower, but I still really did like it. I did enjoy it. I wasn't too thrilled with the ending, which I can't tell you why, because that's really sad. It's really sad. See, I don't want to spoil anything. When you get to the ending, you'll know what I mean. But I did enjoy this book. The second book in the series, it's called A Handful of Dust. It's on its way. It should be here this week, and I am going to go ahead and read it as soon as it gets here. There you go. But it wouldn't be in the month of April. So as soon as I finish the series, I will write a review. Oh my gosh, there are so many books I haven't written a review yet for. I'm sorry, Jessica. I'm so sorry. I'll get to them, I promise. This is makeup week, so there you go. All right, so that is what I read for the month of April. I have to say that for being in Europe for 2 weeks, I have to say that was actually pretty good. And Ivan finished 1984 by George Orwell. Bravo, Ivan. Bravo. Ivan is such a big Orwell fan. He really is. He read Animal Farm, loved it. I pushed 1984 at him. And I asked him, I was like, did you like it? He's like, 1984 isn't meant to be liked, Kim. I was like, well, duh, but you can still enjoy it. Well, it's not meant to be enjoyed. And by that point, I just wanted to smack him. So yes, there you go. I'm trying to get him to read Jane Eyre, but he's absolutely convinced that Jane Eyre is a girl book, even though it has one of the most compelling male characters in all of classic literature. So if you agree with me that he needs to read Jane Eyre, then can you say something in the comments so I can actually show him? Yeah, even my dad who loves Jane Eyre, he's like, you know, Kim, it is actually a girl book. I was like, oh my gosh, stop talking. Just, so if you agree with me, say something in the comments. Yes. Okay, so we're gonna do our traditional favorite and least favorite book of the month. Favorite is so easy. Favorite is so easy. It's The Historian. No question. No question. There is no question, so don't even ask, because this is just my favorite. And if you haven't read it, you need to read it. Do it right now. As for least favorite, I don't know. I can't, I actually was thinking about this last night because I knew I was going to be making the video today. It's between Not a Drop to Drink and The Wicked Deep. And I can't decide which one. Okay, fine. I think I'm going to choose The Wicked Deep just because there was some teenage drama that kind of sort of got on my nerves. Kind of, but see, this one's a really tough one because I actually did like all the books. There wasn't a weak book among these. It's just this one just had a little too much teenage drama, and you know how much I hate teenage drama. So, okay. All right, The Wicked Deep is my least favorite for this month. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay. All right. Okay. So that is what I read for the month of April. Month of May is looking up. I don't have quite as much going on in the month of May, so hopefully we'll actually have more books in the month of May. Okay, so let us know what you've been reading. I want to hear everything you've been reading. If you have book recommendations, if you have opinions, let us know. Give me your opinion on Jane Eyre. I'm counting on you guys for that. Because, I mean, everyone should read Jane Eyre. See, that's another one. If you haven't read Jane Eyre, you need to go read it. Whether you're a girl or a guy. Ivan. There you go. So that's the month of April. If you want to see my pictures from Italy, feel free to come and friend me so you can go take a look. I also have several up on my Instagram, so come find me on Instagram. And there you go. That is the month of April. Right? Is that everything? I think so. All right. Everybody have a great month. Make sure you share us with your friends, like all of our stuff, and contact us because we love hearing from you. All right? Okay. Bye.